Hi there, my name is Rebecca Messer. I'm a peer consultant at the UTC Writing and Communication Center, and today we're going to be doing a digital workshop with tips and tricks for revising and editing your work. Hopefully some of the skills and some of the techniques you learn throughout this tutorial are going to help you with wrapping up those final papers for the semester, and for those of you that are taking summer classes, these are tips and tricks that you can also use when crafting papers for future courses. So let's get started. First and foremost, a brief outline of what we're going to cover in this workshop. We're going to start by talking about overall paper tips. So these are tips that you can use to look at your paper as a whole. Then we're going to talk about sentence level tips, or tips that can help you with revising your work on a sentence by sentence basis. Finally, we're going to talk about proofreading overall and some of the suggestions we have for how to proofread, as well as some of the resources that the WCC offers for helping with these areas. So the first tip we're going to share with you is the paper skeleton technique. Using this technique, you're going to follow 3 primary steps. Firstly, you're going to identify the introduction and conclusion sentences in each of your paragraphs. Then you're going to take each of these sentences and place them side by side. Once you've completed step 2, you're going to read the sentences in the order they are written and consider the 3 following statements. What are the moves and ideas that these sentences are making? Are the moves and ideas related both to the overall topic and one another? Am I satisfied with the movement and ideas and the ideas that are presented in these sentences? Our second tip is called reverse outlining. This also can be accomplished in 3 brief steps. First of all, you're going to begin by rereading your paper from start to finish. Then, as you read, you're going to create an outline of what ideas you address in your paper. Finally, you review the outline and check to ensure that the essay overall makes sense and flows logically. If it doesn't, you can readdress some of the areas that you would like to make clearer for your audience, and you can adjust the outline through it with another reread. As you can see, these 2 tips are really meant for when you have the paper fully rough drafted and are looking to begin your editing and proofreading stages. Now we're going to move into some more sentence level techniques for revising and editing your work. Our first sentence level technique is called expanding, and it has 2 options, but they both accomplish the same goal. Firstly, we suggest that you find places in your paper where you have big ideas with small explanations. These sentences tend to be ones with broad ideas, but in few details further explaining the idea. However, by adding those details, it makes your sentence more unique and it helps your audience understand your unique perspective on the topic. With the example sentence, it would turn into something like the following. Iago is the character with the most fluid identity, constantly changing and shifting to align for whatever serves him best in the moment. Our second tip with expanding your sentences is to delete any placeholder sentences or words and replace them with more expanded ideas. For example, the sentence, "This girl's identity shift allowed for proper order in the play." While it is technically a complete sentence and grammatically correct, the ideas in it are vague, and to the audience, it's not sure what exactly the author is getting at. Instead, by adding some details and some supporting evidence, it is possible for your audience to get a clearer picture of the ideas that you are trying to present. Using our example sentence, by expanding upon it and removing the placeholder words, we come up with a sentence such as the following. Amelia's identity shift allows her to defy and overthrow the proper order of things, wives obeying their husbands, and is what gives order at the end of the play. In this way, your audience now has more details and can understand the application of your thoughts to this specific example. Our fourth tip for this tutorial is the Paramedic Method. It's an industry standard for helping writers achieve clear prose. When you use this method, you will reduce your word count by eliminating unnecessary words. The Paramedic Method can also help with the elimination of the passive voice and any uses of redundancies. While the Paramedic Method has 7 steps, there is an important note that should be taken when using this method. While some of the steps do specifically say to circle or draw, feel free to use whichever technique works best for you. If highlighting or changing the color of the font for each of these aspects of the sentence is a better reminder to you as a writer, please feel free to use those techniques. With our example, however, we suggest the following steps. Firstly, you're going to circle the prepositions in your sentence. Then, you're going to draw a box around all the is verb forms that occur in your sentence. This includes uses of the verbs am, are, is, was, were, been, and being. Thirdly, you're going to ask, where's the action in my sentence? And identify the main verb or verbs. Fourthly, you're going to change the action into a simple verb, if that is necessary. Fifthly, you're going to move the doer into the subject so that your audience knows who's kicking whom. This tip especially will help with eliminating uses of the passive voice. Our sixth step is to eliminate any unnecessarily slow windups. And finally, we suggest eliminating any redundancies that occur in your sentence. Our fifth and final tip of the day is eliminating wordiness. This tip is to a degree an expansion of the seventh step of the Paramedic Method, as it helps you understand what redundancies may be and what other areas of wordiness may be that can easily be eliminated. We have three primary types of wordiness that we suggest looking for when using the eliminating wordiness tip. Firstly, you should avoid writing in the negative, using not, no, etc. Secondly, you should look to delete meaningless words such as kind of, actually, particularly, really, certain, various, virtually, individual, basically, generally, given, practically, etc. While these verbs may add emphasis to your sentence, they normally are not necessary to communicate your ideas to an audience. Finally, we suggest eliminating double words or redundancies. These can include phrases such as full and complete, true and accurate, hopes and desires, hope and trust, each and every, first and foremost, any and all, basic and fundamental, and various and sundry. While there are many other double words or redundancies that occur in writing, these are the most common and the ones that we suggest you keep an eye out for. Next, we're going to talk very briefly about proofreading and the process as a whole. At the Writing Center, we have a couple of tips and tricks for the proofreading process that we suggest strongly to our writers. Firstly, we suggest either reading your paper aloud or using a read aloud program so that you can listen to your paper being read aloud. In this way, it's easier to hear how your paper flows and to make sure that ideas line up with one another and that they flow from one to the other. It's also a great way to check for transitions from one idea to another. Next, we suggest checking punctuation marks specifically, looking for your periods, commas, semicolons, quotation marks, etc. As a part of this, we also suggest that you reread your quotations, which will help you double-check your citations. Next, we suggest that you relax and reread your paper. Remember, proofreading is not a process that can be accomplished in a short period of time. You need to be able to take breaks in between revision sessions so that your mind can relax and be refreshed and ready to read the paper again. Finally, feel free to get feedback from other people. This can be a roommate, a peer review, or if you'd like, you're always welcome to visit us at the Writing Center to get a peer consultant to read your paper and talk about it with you. Speaking of the Writing Center, we are a free resource that's offered through the university, and we're open to any writer, any type of writing, at any stage. Our goals are that you leave your appointment with us more confident and that you have a plan for how you're going to proceed with your paper. So what do we do at the WCC, you may ask? Well, our consultants can help you with all steps of the writing process and many, many, many different aspects of writing. This can include brainstorming ideas, developing your ideas, organizing your work, learning how to cite your sources or format in-text citations, helping you with word choice, sentence structure, and grammar concerns, or helping you develop or listening to you practice presentations for classes. If you're interested, if you would like to make an appointment, we would love to work with you. For information about how appointments are happening during the current shutdown of the university, please visit our website, linked below, to set up an account and to receive the latest updates on how the Writing Center is functioning. This is also where you can find contact information if you have any specific questions, concerns, or problems with your account. Thank you so much for joining me during this online version of our Tips and Tricks for Revising and Editing Your Work workshop. We appreciate your time and hope that some of the information you gained today will be helpful in your future paper writing endeavors. Have a nice day!